In the past few days, we've been studying about the circle. And what is it about the circle we have been studying? We're studying the length of this figure that I just drawn. And the length of this circle is also known as the perimeter of the circle. Now, there's a special name for that, and it's called circumference. Now, there's always this confusion amongst you, and thank you for letting me know that I always use circle, the C, as the same as pi. Interchangeably, I use them. And this confuses you. Now, there's a reason why I use both of them in our discussions before. Now, when I use them interchangeably, it's always within a context. And the context was that this circle was enclosed or circumscribed by a square. And only then this one you can use. Yeah, only you could then interchangeably use them. And why? Yes, so remember, I did say that the length of one of the sides of this square is 1. Could be a centimeter, it could be an inch, it could be a meter. So when 1 is its length, that means the diameter of the circle is also 1. Yeah, so I'm going to put here the diameter is also 1. And so let me ask one of you, what was the formula or what was the method of trying to get the value of pi? Remember, we did an exercise about this where about choosing 3 objects to measure the perimeter of the circle and the diameter. So what you did was you measured the diameter and then asked how many of this diameter goes in the circle. How many of this can go around the circle? So essentially, another way of putting the question is circumference, or the perimeter of the circle, or the length of the circle, divided by diameter. Now, if the circle is C, yeah, and the diameter is the value of 1, yeah, that's 1, then we can tell, yeah, by solving this is pi is equal to C divided by 1. Any number divided by 1 is equal to that number. So in this instance, the pi is the same as the circumference if the diameter of a circle is 1. Now take note, this is not a unit circle because the unit circle always have a radius of 1. So I'd like to make that distinction because some of you were telling me that I was also using the word unit circle. I probably would have. Yes, I'll have to see my previous videos. Okay, but thank you for alerting me on this. So it would mean that when I had spoken to you before, that I would say sometimes that the pi should be less than the perimeter of this square. Yeah, and what's the perimeter of the square? It should be less than Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be less than 4. You can also say that the circumference is less than the perimeter of the square, the green square. And that's why I can use them interchangeably within the context that the diameter of the circle is 1. Only in this instance, so far. I can also say, in this instance, yeah, because I did talk before of putting another square inside the black circle. I did this previously. I can also say that the pi is more than, is greater than the perimeter of the small square. Yeah, greater than the perimeter of the small square. And so is the circumference is also greater than the perimeter of the small square. I hope this is really clear. And thank you for alerting me on that. But it's really important that we distinguish when can we use them interchangeably. Yeah. So pi is the same as the circumference if the diameter of a circle is 1. At some point, I'd like to talk about the unit circle as opposed to a circle with the diameter of 1. They're completely different things. So, thank you for alerting me on this, and I'll see you in the next lesson.